A young musician once made a journey no living person had ever survived. He carried no weapon, no shield, no army, only a song. And it was enough to move the most powerful ruler in the ancient world. Welcome to Ghibli World, where the greatest stories ever told live again. In the ancient land of Thrace, in northeastern Greece, there lived a musician unlike anyone before or since. His name was Orpheus. His mother was Calliope, the muse of poetry and song. His teacher was Apollo himself, who placed a golden lyre in his hands. When Orpheus played, the animals of the forest gathered beside him. The trees bent their branches toward the sound. The rivers slowed just to listen. The ancient poet Pindar called him the father of songs. He was not a warrior. He was not a king. He was something rarer than both. One afternoon, deep in the forests of Thrace, Orpheus saw her. Her name was Eurydice. She was a forest nymph, a spirit connected to the ancient trees and the wild meadows. She had heard his music on the wind and followed it through the trees, and Orpheus, who had moved rivers with his music, found himself, for the first time, without a single note to play. They fell completely in love, and they were married. Their wedding was joyful. But something strange happened that day. The wedding torch flickered and filled the hall with smoke. Everyone blinked back tears. No one spoke of what it might mean. Their happiness was real. And then, one afternoon, it ended. Eurydice was walking alone through a sunlit meadow. A shepherd named Aristaeus had been following her. She ran. She stumbled in the tall grass. And in that moment, Eurydice fell into a deep and endless sleep. A sleep no one could wake her from. She was carried away to a realm far beyond the reach of the living. Orpheus knelt in that golden meadow, his lyre silent for the first time in his life, and he made a decision. He would go find her. Most people, when they lose someone, grieve from a distance. Orpheus decided to do something else entirely. The ancient Greeks believed that when a person passed on, their spirit was guided to a vast, quiet kingdom far beneath the earth, ruled by a powerful and ancient king named Hades and his wife Persephone. Orpheus found the entrance, a deep cave glowing faintly below the world. He followed the path down until he reached a wide, still river. An ancient ferryman named Charon had crossed only those who had passed on. He had never once taken a living person across. Orpheus sat at the river's edge and played. He played grief. Pure, honest, unbearable grief. The old ferryman's hands went still. For the first time in eternity, he wept. He took Orpheus across. At the great gates, a massive three-headed guardian turned all visitors away. The moment Orpheus played, it lay down quietly and let him through. And then Orpheus stood before the king and queen of the realm beyond. He played. He sang of Eurydice, of the meadow, of the flickering torch, of the silence. The queen covered her face and wept, and the king, ancient, powerful, unmovable, felt something on his face he had never felt before. Tears. The king spoke. "Take her," he said. "Walk back to the world above. She will follow behind you. Do not look back, not until you have both stepped fully into the sunlight. If you turn around even once, she stays here, forever." Orpheus agreed. He turned, and he walked. Behind him, he could hear her, the soft sound of her footsteps, the gentle brush of her robes. He kept walking, up through the winding passage, past the great river, past the gates. The light above was growing brighter. He could feel warm air on his face. He was almost there. And then, a thought crept in. What if she is not there? What if I cannot hear her anymore? He turned around. She was there, right behind him, her eyes wide and full of love, and already fading. Her hand reached out toward his, her voice soft as wind through trees. Goodbye. And she was gone. Orpheus stood at the edge of sunlight, his hand still outstretched, holding nothing. Orpheus made it almost all the way back. Almost. And maybe that is the most human part of this story. Not that he failed, but that he loved too much to simply trust. He turned around. because that is what love does. Some stories do not end with a victory. They end with a feeling. And maybe that is exactly what makes them last forever. If this story stayed with you, you already know what to do. Subscribe to Ghibli World. A new ancient story is already waiting for you.